porch swing in the early morning light, with dew upon my windshield from the cool and quiet night. I trace the treetops climbing to the mountains in the east, where clouds played hide and seek as golden sunlight slowly creased. And my brother stood there smiling, said it's time we hit the road. Another wild adventure on that old familiar coast. With dreams that pulled us westward, hearts already feeling bolder, we set out chasing whispers in the rivers lined with gold surf. We drove through dusty highways where the map began to fade, through towns that time forgot, and through the pines that cast their shade. We talked of all the stories of the men who came before, who left it all behind them, chasing something more and more. With a drink in a paper cup and sunrise on the dash, we laughed about the crazy ones who'd gamble life for flash. But somewhere in that laughter, something deeper took its hold, a quiet kind of hunger for that yellow hint of gold. It's that gold fever burning deep down in your soul. Just a little taste is all it takes to lose control. You never find enough, but you always find a trace, and it keeps you coming back to that wild and restless place. 500 miles behind us, Idaho came into view. At Sunbeam Dam, the air felt like the stories might be true. I laughed and thought of cartoons, old Klondike Jack and dreams, who'd taste the rocks for riches in those icy mountain streams. We followed Yankee folk where the old scars still remain, rows of broken boulders where the dredges carved their name. You could feel the past still breathing in the silence of the land, where men once chased their fortunes with a shovel in their hand. My brother skipped a stone across the slow and muddy bend, said, "You ever think we'll strike it rich before the end?" I grinned and shook my head, said, "Man, I wouldn't bet the farm, but I'd walk these rivers any day just for this kind of calm." He laughed and said, "Yeah, maybe it ain't riches that we seek, as the current told its story in the language of the creek. But still we kept on searching like the ones from long ago, with every step believing we were closer to the gold." Then we saw the giant rising, rusted, silent, standing still, like a ghost of something powerful asleep beyond the hill. 3 stories tall and weathered, like a ship that lost the sea, with its iron teeth still buried where it claimed its victory. Once it roared like thunder, tearing earth from bone and in bed. Now it waits in quiet waters, like a memory of the dead, a monument to madness and the hunger men once knew. When gold was more than metal, it was all they ever knew. We dug into the gravel with our hands numb from the cold. Every pan a question, every shimmer turning bold. The water cut like winter as it rushed around our knees, but we hardly even felt it with that fever in the breeze. Hours turned to nothing as the sun climbed overhead, but still we kept on working like the old-timers had said. You don't find the fortune if you quit before it shows. So we kept on chasing colors in the river's steady flow. It's that gold fever burning deep down in your soul. Just a little taste is all it takes to lose control. You never find enough, but you always find a trace, and it keeps you coming back to that wild and restless place down in No Telling Canyon, where the creek runs cold and fast. That fever took a hold of us just like it did the past. With pans and dredges working, every moment held a prayer. Every stone we turned was hope that maybe gold was there. There's a rhythm in the water, there's a whisper in the flow. Every second asking softly, is this where it'll show? Then the motors all went silent, and the moment hit like thunder. One word broke the stillness: go. We leaned in close together as it shimmered in the tray. Yeah, something in that moment that was bigger than the gold. Just flakes of yellow shining in the bottom of the box, but men have crossed the world for it and died among these rocks. It doesn't scream or shout at you, it whispers soft and low, and somehow that's enough to make you never let it go. Maybe Mother Earth's just playing games we'll never win, giving just enough to pull us back again. It's that